Yes! Here at the Underground Studio. It is so great to be with you guys tonight on this first full moon of October. And it's so interesting that this is one of the only 2 gigs that I have this month. The 1st of October and the 31st of October. So I guess it's a blue moon experience for me. And I'm really happy to be here. I'm just initiating a process, a project with the most talented Vincent Freeman at the Underground Studio. And doing a project that I started tracking about 2 years ago. And really excited about it. And other than that, I'm going to be playing some music that is not from that project, maybe a tune or two from it. And I used to live over the hill, built a log cabin in East Randolph, and I wrote this opening tune. Didn't have the orchestra at the time. With my bird, Cocopelio, and we wrote this song together, so I feel really special about it. Coming back to Randolph. my God, we have a live studio audience. Hey. It's good to have you guys here. It makes me, realize what it's like to be Joe Biden on a campaign. It's like, are you out there, America? I'm hoping so. We won't get into that right now. I wanted to play you guys just a smattering of stuff. And wanted to mention too to the techies, this is live, as in no loops or pre-programmed or stuff. It's just live with a couple of special tricks. And we left Cape Cod this morning. We were leaving the island, which we feel pretty good about being, as Vermont's our second home, but I'll tell you, this is, this period of being home alone. Well, thankfully, I have my wife with me, who I like, and I think she likes me. Is that I don't play much, so thank you guys for inviting me out of the woodwork here. I'm hoping it all comes back to me in the next. This is a tune from my last, that was actually a long time ago. A project called Witness Tree, and this is the title tune. Mighty lonesome for my friend. I've been tried by fire for my truth, and all that remains is this golden tooth. Won't you meet me by the witness tree? There I'll know you, and you know me by the witness tree. I'll be that ghost of a man that might have been, had not life had other plans. Share the mountain, baby, of your view, and the valley wide. I know that too. Won't you meet me by the witness tree? There I'll know you, and you know me by the witness tree. I'll be there by the witness tree. We'll tell the story of our walk in the glory of our talk. We'll see, yeah. were warmed by the fire of broken dreams. Yet though life is seldom what it seems, so dance with me round this witness tree, for the chance could be we'll meet again soon, said he. Won't you meet me by the witness tree? There I'll know you, and you know me. There by the witness tree. We'll be there by the witness tree. We'll be there by the witness tree. Thank you, our live studio audience. It's intermission time. No, I'm only kidding. It's Starbucks time. Can we say that on this show? The producer's going, no, not really. Well, it is a real joy to be here. In Randolph, one of my many homes, and this is a tune that was written some, I think, decades ago about this specific time period, this election, this American crisis we have coming up. So it's kind of about that, and I think Vincent and I are going to open our mixing sessions with this tune in hopes of having it out to you guys by Election Day. That's the plan. If we can get the equipment to work. Called The Evolution of Revolution. here today. Here today. Change comes slow, but it happens fast. Like a fire in the grass. The shift is underway. It should be here Tuesday. It couldn't come soon enough, 'cause it's the evolution of revolution. In your mind, it's the evolution of revolution. This time, it's the evolution of revolution, baby. Right across your bow, it's the evolution of revolution. Here now. It's the evolution of consciousness. Step up to the new view. We're changing the way we see. We're changing our destiny. Hey, not a minute too soon, 'cause it's the evolution of revolution, baby. In your mind, it's the evolution of evolution. This time, it's the evolution of revolution. Right across your bow, it's the evolution of revolution. Here now. Here now. way. Thank you, studio audience. How are we doing on? We're good. So what's up with you guys? Anything special?
Happy to have you here.
Thank you. Maybe something not quite so heavy. I'm only kidding. I remember my oldest daughter once said to me, you know, everything happens just at the right time. And she said, Dad, you know, you're just so intense. I went, wow. I guess I am. I got that. And ever since then, she changed my life. She doesn't know that. She still thinks I'm intense, but anyway. Where was we? Oh, yeah, let's do this one. It's an old David Crosby tune. What happened? With a little twist on it, as you might imagine. speak your mind if you dare. But you best get yourself elected, one way or the other. You better, I say you better maybe not cut your hair. And it appears to be hello. And it appears to be hello. It appears to be hello. Time, such a long, long, long time for the dawn. It's a long time coming. It's a long time gone. Thank you. That was I forgot all about that tune. It was a tune that I wrote a few years ago when I got a really bad flu. And I called it The Beast. And I woke up with it in my head this morning going, boy, you remember how bad that was? Maybe we should redo this. Well, protect yourself and the ones you love from the beast. Oops. Sorry, I haven't changed my strings in about a year. That's what happens when you leave a guy alone in the woods for too long. Okay, what should we do for you guys? I think we'll do something different. Let's take a left turn here. If I can remember this great song, I heard my first flock of geese just yesterday. I said, well, okay, you guys know what's going on. Who knows that lick? Well, Joni Mitchell's been on my mind. And Tom Ross made this whole Joni Mitchell tune popular at the time, quite some time ago, in the 70s, I believe. It's called Urge for Going. I woke up today and found the frost perched on the ground. It hovered in a golden sky, gobbled summer down. When the winds fell winter cold, and bullied winds did rub their faces in the snow. Get the urge for going, never seem to go. And I get the urge for going when the grass is turning brown. Summertime is falling down, winter's closing in. I had a girl in summertime with summer-colored skin. Not another man in town my darling's heart could win. I'd like to call back summertime, have her stay maybe just another month or so. Hey, got the urge for going, I had to let her go. And she gets the urge for going when the meadow grass is turning brown. All their empires are falling down. Winter's closing in. And the warriors of winter give a cold triumphant shove. And all that stays is dying, and all that lives is getting out. See the geese in chevron flight, flapping and a racing on before the snow. They got the urge for going, they got the wings to fly. They get the urge for going when the meadow grass is turning brown. All their empires are falling down. Winter's closing in. Plow the fire with kindling, pull the blankets to my chin. I lock that vagrant winter out, I hold my wanderings in. When the birds fell beneath the cold, bitter winds did rub their faces in the snow. To get the urge for going, I never seem to go. And I get the urge for going when the meadow grass is turning brown. Summertime is falling down, winter's closing in. Winter's closing in. Winter's closing in. Thank you, live studio audience, so much. And thank you, Vincent, for having me here. So looking forward to our adventure together. And I guess if I'm going to do you guys one more tune, this is really silly, but maybe not. do it after that. Okay, let's do this instead. Yes, welcome to the unedited version. This is live internet, everybody. This is a tune we call Echoes of Transmission. I used to play up in Killington. Little place called the Red Rob Inn. And this tune just kind of popped out one night, as is. So we called it Echoes of Transmission. I hope the Star people talk to you guys too. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. Go out and be a part of this democracy as soon as you can. Thanks, everybody, for showing up tonight. Thanks, Vincent Freeman, for having me here tonight. Thank you, studio audience. And, God bless you all. See you guys next time, whenever that is.
October 1st, 2020, and we're here at the Underground in Randolph, Vermont, home to the Vincent Freeman experience, so to speak, in the studio here where he records a lot of music and a lot of live recordings. And I'm here after the performance with an incredibly talented individual, Michael Oakland. Thank you.
Thank you, bud.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was an incredible performance. It spanned so much ground.
Yeah, well, thanks for asking me out. I love being in the backyard. I really do. But, you don't know how good the backyard is until you get out of it sometimes.
That's true.
And it's really nice to be with you guys and get a chance to appreciate everything.
And loosen the chain, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right.
Let the dogs out.
Right.
I actually opened for those guys once. Who let the dogs out?
All right. Give me
The agent says, I forget even the name of the band, and he says, you're going to open for your genre. And I'm going, who's that? Who let the... I'm going, you've got to be kidding me.
Wow. What was that like?
Oh,
Where
it
was it?
It was just so angular and bizarre. But it was okay. I mean, we got along,
Did you convert some folks and to pull some folks, get some crossover audience?
That might be a stretch.
Well, certainly, I wouldn't have said that would have been one of your influences.
No.
I was going to go to that question about influences. Obviously, Bossa Nova. You played a couple great covers, of course. All your originals were incredible.
Thank you, man.
Where did you start?
Well, for me, it really started with my uncles. I had two crazy uncles who had guitars, and nobody played them. But when they drank, at parties, they would put the guitar on and do like their Elvis thing, And the Elvis thing never really totally got me. I mean, I could appreciate him, but it wasn't until Lennon and McCartney hit the Ed Sullivan Show, and I went, oh, that's what you do with a guitar.
Right.
And it was like a light went off, and then I actually learned how to play.
Going right to that, well, it was young Elvis that didn't impress you. Maybe older Elvis might have been a different story.
It might have been a different story.
I imagine actually your uncles probably were telegraphing a future older Elvis.
Oh yeah,
in their drunkenness,
they had the whole the swanky hairdo, and they had the whole thing,
Yeah.
so it was great.
Yeah.
But
I want to go to the Lennon McCartney thing, and I'm thinking I Want to Hold Your Hand was maybe one of the songs that they played on Ed Sullivan. I can't remember.
It was.
And all I can remember is, and all most people can remember, is the screaming.
Yeah.
Late young girls, the teeny boppers.
Yeah.
Was that ever an influence for you, getting into music?
No, it was a byproduct, but not an influence.
Right.
But it was definitely a treat to. I mean, by the time I was 13, I was doing high school dances, and we were a regular feature. So
Wow.
that was awesome.
No doubt.
To be sort of a local rock star at 13.
Right on. Where was
just
this?
how it
Where did you
happened.
grow up?
Not too far from here, actually, a town outside of Boston called Medway.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful country at the time. Now it's, solid suburbia, but we had, I could see, it was cow fields, and I could see the Prudential Building from just down the road from my house.
Yep.
Literally, just cow fields, Prudential Building.
Wow.
So it was a pretty cool place to grow up.
Real dichotomy of rural versus boom.
Yeah.
There's urban.
Yeah, it was great.
There's a place where you come, there are several places, but when I was a kid driving into Boston with my father, there is one area on 128, maybe at some area where you hit a rise and then boom, you can see the whole landscape, and the Prudential Building, of course, jumps right out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so near Boston, who are your influences besides Lennon McCartney?
Joe Beam was really big. Chet Atkins. Because Chet could play the whole gig on guitar, like everything. And I remember here's the story between Chet Atkins and Lennon and McCartney. After I learned da 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 da, the "And I Love Her," the Beatle tune.
Right?
I just learned that one lick. Da 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 da, and I went, "Mom, listen to this." And I played it for her in the kitchen, and she says, "Well, where's the rest of it?" I said, "What do you mean? This is the lead guitar part, man. I got it." And then comes, Chet Atkins, who just plays the whole thing. And then Joe Pass and, guitar players who were monsters of their day. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you take that guitar in all kinds of directions. You've got melody going on. You're playing bass.
yeah.
You're doing a lot on that.
Trying to keep all the balls in the air, Sometimes you feel like a circus monkey, but occasionally that feeling is really good when everything's in balance and it's working and you got the groove and yeah.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Absolutely.
man.
And the Bossa Nova, I don't know much about, but I've listened to. Well, my father once peed on Lorinda Almeida's shoe, actually, which is my claim to fame to that
cool.
genre of music.
Yeah.
the Lighthouse in the 50s. But that music there's just something mystical about it to me, I want to say, or spiritual.
Yeah.
Right? How did you get into that?
I think it's I heard, Girl from Ipanema.
Right.
And it was like a light went on too. It was like, this is totally different than anything ever before. And for me, it was like it was the synthesis of jazz and romance and just poetry, and it just seemed to have everything. I did my rock and roll thing, but it was never really my thing. It was, so I moved out of that quickly.
Yeah, the South American influence somehow is just incredible.
Yeah.
And whenever you can, I don't know Stan Getz' his history, but how he got into that, how you got into it. There's something that is, I want to say, really mystical about
There is, yep.
about that part of the world and the Amazon forest
Right
and
on.
Brazil. Seems like you're reaching a little deeper in some ways.
Well, it just came natural to me, and it's kind of weird because I'm an Irishman genetically, but it doesn't grow really. I mean, the Brazilian thing is just so in my soul; it just pops out, and that's what happens. So
Nice.
but Brazilians and Irishmen get along pretty well.
That's good. That's good to know.
Yeah,
I don't know much about the collaborations between Irish.
there should be more.
There probably should be. It seems like you're for sure. Talk a little bit about Randolph. You have a little bit of roots here.
I've
in
got
the Central
tremendous
Vermont.
history here in Randolph. I'm working here with Vincent Freeman, and he's related to Sharon and Jerry Freeman. And the very first time I drove through the town of Randolph, I had a for sale sign on my van. This is back in the 70s. And there's this big, beautiful woman flagging me down. And what's going on? She's like, I pull over the side of the road. She says, your van's for sale? I said, yes. You want to buy it? Well, let's talk about it. Come up for dinner. And the one thing led to another, and here we are,
Did you have to walk home that night?
I wish. No, but I've had friends for life, so that's the good news.
Fantastic.
Yeah, long history with Randolph. Always come back here. I probably should die here. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Well, the first song that you played, going back to Randolph, or
Yeah,
something like that?
Samba de Gallo was a tune that I wrote. I had just built a log cabin in East Randolph and got a African gray, and just one of the cherished creatures of my life. And I'd walk in the house, and he'd go. Sorry, wait a minute. There, it's better. Thank you, Starbucks. And so we started whistling this tune together. So we literally wrote the song together. And then I went to my bird therapist. They have those. I said, my bird doesn't talk. He's an African gray. What's the deal? And he says, well, are you whistling to him? I said, well, yeah, like all the time. He said, well, stop whistling to him and he'll start talking to you.
Wow,
And
fantastic.
it was awesome. It happened like within 2 weeks.
Wow, that's fantastic. All good words, I hope. I just saw on social media that 6 parrots have been separated because they were encouraging each other to swear at the people in the store. So they had to separate these 6 parrots, apparently.
Oh my God, yeah. I know. I've been in because you get into the vibe and you're with people who have birds, and you're always going into bird stores. And could we? Anyway, yeah, the vulgarity was absolutely phenomenal in the bird store.
Yeah.
And he had the poor clerks was like, I can't sell this bird. I was going, well, the right owner, the right bird person is going to come in and buy that bird.
Right.
And he did.
Yeah, I mean, you can make it safe for the house. You just got to teach the birds the expletives in another language, and then it becomes safe for kids. Right, puta is fine for a 6-year-old, right? I would imagine. I hope that's okay to say. Is that all right to say? I don't know.
Hey, this is the internet. It's not cable, right?
Yeah, it's not. It's okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I was probably swearing up a storm then too. I imagine. Yeah, I can't stop once I start. I don't even need the Java. But
That's great.
what a great performance! How many performances do you do a year? When in a regular year, I should say.
I don't know. I've never really tallied the number, but there used to be times where it was so ridiculous that I remember I was working in Key West and I was doing the whole South Florida thing, and I got on the stool and I put the guitar on and sat there and waited for inspiration, because for me that's how it works. It's like, what should I play now? It's not like a set list or anything. And nothing came. And I sat there I swear it had to be 15 or 20 minutes. Now here I am at a pool bar, and I'm supposed to be on at a certain time, and I'm just sitting there on the stool going, okay, waiting for God to tell me, what I should do. And I was empty of anything to play. Just so I didn't, but that's what happens when you work too much.
Was it then not a performance, but performance art?
Performance art, see? Yeah.
He's supposed to be playing, but he's not playing. It's a different thing.
It's a different.
Was it kind of a Yoko Ono thing? Gave everybody a pair of scissors and said, just cut my clothes off at this point. You're all. It was at a pool, right? I'm thinking maybe that was probably why you were distracted. I would be able to play at a pool in Key West, I'm sure.
Thankfully, at that particular pool, I had a particular blackbird who used to visit me regularly. And I would play like a South American version of the Beatles' Blackbird for him. But he hung around and would sing with me. And he showed up and kind of broke my silence.
Wow. That
was a treat. I mean, this bird had a bird thing for a while.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a good thing.
Well, that probably is tied into, you've got a lot of other interests outside music. You've got, you were a producer of a TV show for a while. It's The Music Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that was an award-winning show, yeah?
It was. In fact, it's funny you should mention that because we just, the production team just got together last weekend to watch a few of the shows at a party we had. And because we hadn't seen any of it for 10 plus years. And it was like, wow, that was a great chapter. You guys should all do TV shows.
Well, that's what we're doing here, right?
We are. And let's do more TV shows because it's just a gas to watch him, 10 years later, 10 years after, and see what you look like, what you did together. And it was a gas.
Nice.
Great experience. We couldn't sell it to cable and be traveling the world doing what we wanted to do, but that's okay. It was good.
Time to bring it back. I think there's in a COVID way we could do yurt performances or something.
In a zoomy way, huh?
In a zoomy way, yeah, exactly. And also the birds in your musical canon probably have something to do with your interest in astrology. You're a practicing astrologist or something to that nature.
Yeah, I suppose how the astrology thing happened. I don't really remember how it happened, except that I went to an astrologer because I was always curious about it, and he just laid out my life in front of me. I'm looking at this page of what looked like hieroglyphics to me at the time, and he just went blah 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 blah, and I went, whoa, what? How did you know all that? And it was Stephen Blake was his name. He was from Cape Cod, fabulous astrologer. And since then, I was hooked, and then started learning and studying for years. And I actually played for astrological conferences for years. They were the best of the best. So I was really privileged to be a part of the inner circle of great astrologers in the U.S. Nice. It was a great experience. And folks, we are in the midst of just such huge transformative changes, and the chart of the U.S. is so profoundly challenged right now. We just need to breathe together and work through this. It's a very intense time for the country. It's what's called the country's Pluto return, which, and there's a lot more to it, and it's very complicated, but it's a very transformative time. Pluto only returns to where it was 240 years later. So Sure enough, we are 240 years at the end, rebirth of so it is a rebirth. And that's what we're literally assessing is, what are we becoming? Are we dying to what we were? Which, of course, we are. And what are we becoming? And what do we want to become?
And specific to U.S. history, of course, that's what you're getting at.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 1776 was what, 224 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's
planets they're kind of a little elongated. So the cycle, and the Pluto return is actually just kicking in now. So this challenge is before us, and it's initiated now, but it will exist for a few number of years. So we'll be in the hot seat here for a little bit. So put your sneakers on, kids.
Hold tight.
Oh, your big boots, whatever you want to call it, and try to be nice to each other. Yeah. That's all. You know?
Right on.
If we can just get back to some civility, please.
Yeah.
There's some changes we need to make in order to do that, but we can do that.
Yeah. Well, a couple of the covers that you played really resonated. David Crosby's Long Time Gone, Speak Out Against the Madness, and then a Joni Mitchell tune, which I wasn't that aware of, Urge for Going.
Urge for Going, yeah.
Right? And that had a beautiful line about empires falling. Could have been apples, but it could have been empires. It's whatever. Joni is Joni, and amazing.
Exactly.
Both those songs, I think, deserve that revamp.
On.
To be
nice. Yeah, it's not just fall. It's like, the autumn, as in the autumn, but it's the fall of our American empire as it was and as it has been.
Right.
So hopefully.
Yeah. Evolution of Revolution, your own song.
Yeah.
Bringing it back. You're going to record it here with Vincent?
Yeah. We got some, the basic tracks done, and we're here to mix it and put it together and finish it and put all the gliss on it. And
bring some birds in, maybe?
Bring some birds in. Actually, that tune needs some sirens and,
Right.
That. There's a few other tunes that do need birds, though.
Yeah. Well, I find that fascinating that you had a blackbird that gave you that confidence back in the day. Going back to politics, there was a moment in the 2016 Bernie Sanders campaign, I think. Or maybe it was just a year ago, but I think it was 4 years ago. It's all happened so fast. But there was a moment where he was speaking before a crowd or just about to speak at the podium, and a bird came up and perched right on the podium, right?
Yes.
What did you make of that?
Well, I guess the messenger has arrived.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because Bernie changed the entire trajectory of the collective American conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, he, in and of himself and the people who love him, that happened. I mean, I did the Bernie, I did his, one of his fundraisers for election to the Senate way back in the 80s in Burlington.
Played at it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And if it wasn't for him, the left wouldn't be where it is right now. And the conversation in general about what really needs to be done wouldn't even be happening.
Right.
So thanks be.
What's so curious about that is, I first saw him in '86 at my high school, and he was the first one that jumped out to me as somebody who's actually authentic, as a politician.
Yes.
Who love him or hate him, he's authentic,
Right.
And he turned a lot of people, a lot of conservatives around, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But when he ran, I've been a political cynic for so many years that I gave time and money, and I was excited in 2016. But I knew the system, I knew the machine.
Yep.
And I was so encouraged that he got as far as he did, and I thought it was stolen from him then. And then I was so encouraged that he stayed in there to encourage the youth and the 2018 congressional candidates that came forward.
Right on.
These powerful minority women and other folks with progressive ideas. He really did fuel it. Why do you think in 2020... he went back for full force, but then everything happened this year. He had to, back down basically. With this rebirth idea, do you think it was necessary for him to actually not make it so that we would suffer the harshest of the harsh,
Right.
kind of fall and winter upcoming?
Right. Well, we have to go through the fire, right? I mean, one way or the other. And I think we're just immersing into the fire. And that's a good thing because we seriously need to be purged. America needs to get its bearings in congruence with what its original intentions were, which it has never been. And, I think Bernie has done anything and everything that a man could do. Yeah. And he's connected up with AOC and all of that, the whole next generation that is going to really, he's fueled them and they have fueled him. It's been a great synergy, to make that happen. So.
Yeah, and it's such a razor's edge how people stand who are progressive and populist, who oftentimes, the Bernie message resonated with them, but a lot of those folks ended up with Trump, which is so strange, but right. it makes sense in so many ways too.
Sure. Right?
Do you think we can, once those folks finally, let's say, have an awakening of some kind? Right. To me, the difference. It's like progressivism and populism, yes, but it's the difference between love and hate. Yeah. Can we get those people, because they're loving people? Yeah. But they're only loving their immediate families or something. Yeah,
we got to start with the basics. I mean, hopefully we can just start sharing the fact that let's talk about the planet. That's easy. That's simple. We all live here. We all need to respect the life on Earth. And if we can start there, that's a common thread.
Yeah. And everybody loves their surroundings, their Earth. Even if you're a misanthrope and you don't love people, you at least love being part of this place. We love water. Yeah. Water is good.
Take
air,
care of the water.
things that are clean.
Yeah.
We ingest. The pictures out of the West right now are unbelievably horrifying.
God bless 'em
really
all.
Apocalyptic, but I hope you're right. I hope we come out of this, and it's just a little while longer. We got to wait, right?
Yeah, it's a process.
It is. But you're doing your part. Evolution
you.
for the revolution.
Thank you, Jamie. You are too, man, and thank you for being here tonight too.
Oh, absolutely! I'm honored. I think a
pleasure.
I want to look back at your shows. You've been. Did you go all over the world for a couple of years with that show? It's kind of the Anthony.
No, that was our intention with the Music Man. Yeah, it was our intention, but we ended up just doing about 6 shows around the states.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we kind of ran out of money when they thought there wasn't enough intrigue in the show. Said, well, okay, it's not necessarily about intrigue. We don't want any fighting or, murders, or we don't have that kind of budget. It's just a music show. So that was all it was. And
Bad executive producers or something. Because if Anthony Bourdain can go around the world getting drunk and eating, food everywhere, everybody loves music.
Yeah.
Right?
That was
it
our
is the
plan.
universal art form, I think.
And we had a good run, so thanks be.
Yeah. What's your Halloween show look like?
It is a transgender wedding.
Right on.
So I'm thrilled, even though I have no clue how to play a transgender wedding. I will figure it out. It's my first trans wedding, and it's a costume wedding.
Yep.
Does anybody have any great ideas what to be? Because I need some ideas.
All I can think of, and it's probably politically a landmine, but is Victor Victoria, the movie and the play, where you're
There you go.
both Victor and Victoria.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
I don't know, and you've got the range, the vocal range, perhaps.
Yeah, well,
I think that's a landmine. I wouldn't touch
yeah.
that. Don't take any advice from me. I'm definitely not qualified.
but I'm really looking forward to it. And if any of you other trans people need a musician for your wedding, I would accept the challenge, and I'll be better at it the next time. So
excellent. Well, thank you so much. This has been a treat. I've really enjoyed listening to you, talking to you.
Thank
You've
you
got
so much.
An incredible history. You've shared the stage with who among
mostly old people that nobody knows who they are anymore. So there's no sense really.
Well, who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out?
That's I see a resurgence there too.
And that was one of the latest bands,
Right. Well, if I could put in a request for a redo of Wooden Ships also, since CSN.
Oh, I used to do that.
I would love to sit in on harmony with that. I love that song.
Awesome. I'll take you up on that.
Yeah, excellent. Well, thank you. And to learn more about Michael Oakland, go to michaeloakland.com.
Yep.
And you also have a Facebook page.
I do.
And
Michael
there's stuff
Oakland
out
Music.
there on YouTube. I saw little promos for It's the Music Man.
Yeah. There's little blurbs out there. I'm not particularly good at marketing, but if you do get out there, say hello. Thank you all.
Excellent. Michael, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Really
Jim.
enjoyed it.
Pleasure.
Have a good night.
You too.
Have a good night, folks.